Hello everybody, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and it's the day after Christmas Day. We call it Boxing Day here in the UK. I'm pretty sure it's not called Boxing Day in most other countries around the world, so you may not have heard of that expression. But it's the 26th of December. I firstly came on just to say Happy Christmas to everybody and wish everybody a happy, or at least healthy New Year. I'm not sure how happy you'll be with the health problems going on, but this is a bit of an impromptu video because I looked out into the garden this morning and saw that one of my two persimmons that were on the tree had fallen off. It had fallen off in the bag. The bag had done its job and kept the persimmon from falling on the ground, but it had actually fallen off the branch. Now that may have been caused by the winds. We've got gale force winds at the moment. It's either Storm Brenda or Storm Bertha. I know it begins with a B, I can't remember which, but you may notice at times with the lights hanging outside in the background, if they suddenly jump all over the place, it's because we've had some strong gusts and winds. Now this persimmon is the Cioccolatino one. As you can see, it doesn't look brilliant at the bottom. They have these sort of black spidery lines all over it. They're not caused, as far as I know, by insects. They seem to be naturally occurring on persimmons, but it's actually going a bit brown and squashy at the bottom. So I thought, as I had a spare 5 minutes, I thought we'd cut it open and have a look and perhaps have a taste. Now, as I said, this one is called Cioccolatino, or sold in Europe as Cioccolatino. Now I have no idea if that's the same as the one that's known as the chocolate persimmon in America, and I'm not talking about the chocolate pudding black sapote. I'm talking about the actual chocolate persimmon, which I think normally has a brown flesh inside, particularly if it's pollinated. But this is Cioccolatino, and this had male, female and hermaphrodite flowers on it this year, and it only had the one fruit. So I thought we'd open it up and have a look and see if it's edible inside. Now I'm not 100% sure whether this is an astringent or non-astringent persimmon, because I've had a look on sort of Google and looked up Cioccolatino. Sorry, the wind's blowing outside heavily at the moment. I've looked up Cioccolatino, and one of the little sites I looked at said it was a non-astringent persimmon, and the other one said it was an astringent persimmon, so they don't seem too sure themselves. Sorry, I had to pause the video there to sneeze. A bit unfortunate. So we're just going to cut this in half and see if it's edible or not, and to see if it's astringent or not. It is kind of squashy at the bottom. Normally I'd leave it to get super squashy, but as it's obviously bruised at the bottom, it's probably going to deteriorate very quickly. I might as well cut it open. And let's see what we've got. Okay, so first thing to notice is that it looks to me as if it's got, this looks to me like a seed in it. Let's take it out and have a look. Yeah, definitely got one seed in this, I think. Let me just eat. Definitely got at least one seed in it. Might have more, we'll have a look and see in a minute. Now that would suggest it did have male and female flowers on it as well as the hermaphrodite flowers, so that does suggest that this was pollinated. Now I don't know if on this variety, if the pollination affects the astringency or not, so let's just take a spoonful of this and see. It didn't, from eating the seed, it didn't taste astringent at all. Another seed. Another seed. I don't know if it's going to be big enough to be I don't know if the seed's going to be big enough to be capable of germinating or not, so I may keep them. You can't always tell if the seeds are fertile from the fatness of them, or if they're like to germinate, but I think it's probably worth me storing the seeds. Perhaps I'll pop them in the fridge for a couple of months and then put them in a propagator and see if they germinate, because if they germinate and I can grow a couple of seedlings, not likely to produce necessarily a true to seed fruit, but it will at least it would provide me with some root stocks to possibly play around with grafting one day in the future. Now the fruit is not, it's perfectly edible. It's very soft and you can eat it. You can eat it with a spoon like a jelly. You can see how squashy it is. It's got more seeds in the other half. I'd say it's going to have about 3 or 4 seeds in it. It's not sweet. It's got a pleasant, it's a jelly-like texture, and it's got a pleasant mild flavour to it, but I wouldn't say it tastes of anything. It tastes like some of the persimmons that I've had. So you can see the wind blowing the lights around properly now. They're all getting tangled up. It's perfectly edible, but you wouldn't eat it and go, wow, this is the fruit of the gods. This is a fruit I want to spend the rest of my life eating. But I'm not surprised, because it was the only fruit on quite a young plant. It's the first one I've had off that plant, and it was only a small fruit, and it developed quite late in the year, so it didn't really have the heat it needed in September, October to, I think, to put the sweetness into it. And I deliberately left it on the plant until the point it dropped. I could have brought it in earlier and put it amongst other fruits, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee sweetness to the fruit. I was really just interested to see if it was edible, and it is edible and it's not astringent, so that's promising. So I'm just going to say cheers to everybody. Just some Prosecco here. That was my Cioccolatino persimmon tasting video. Season's greetings to everybody once again. Thanks for watching, and I don't know when I'll be making videos again, because it depends on weather and if I've got anything to make videos about, but I appreciate you watching. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up, obviously share it with anyone you think might be interested. Subscribe to my channel, of course, if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Oh, don't forget, click the bell if you want to get updates on new videos. I knew there was something I've forgotten. So I'll catch up with you on the next video, which hopefully will be before the new year. Brett out for now.